who's looking at us. Good morning, everyone. Let me just zoom out to, I think this is 1x. This is normal. It's Sunday, it's May 31st still. Um, it's been a while since I recorded. We've been extremely busy and I meant to shoot videos and just couldn't get around to it. I think last time and the only time that I uploaded a video from my new house here on Vancouver Island, I don't think anything was done. Maybe some of the stepping stones were started. We've made some progress since then, and I'll just quickly walk around and try to show everything. I'm starting off with a view of my new garden, which is not finished yet. But there's been a lot of, oh, there's a bunny hopping, so the dogs are interested. There's a lot of drama that's been happening with the soil in my garden, and I'll quickly go over that when we get there. But yeah, just wanted to start off on a deck. Here's the view. And let's get started. I don't remember if I caught the azalea. This azalea here was just a dream in the big pot. It was just covered in these beautiful kind of peachy, what's the word I'm looking for? Coral red flowers. It was just amazing. I enjoyed it so much. I've never had an azalea before, and it paired so nicely with the fuchsia hanging above it. But now it's all done. These are all fuchsia spent flowers. I'm literally using it as mulch. I guess I won't identify every single plant because it's just too many at this point, but I've been buying a lot of, there's some spring flowers that are trying to take a break and get replaced with others. This is just my little rosemary. I have a couple of rosemary and lavender on tables, and I'm gonna try and train them. They were grown from seeds. I'm gonna try and train them into topiary. So this is new to me. This is called Pieris. It has a few dried up flowers still left. It grows into a huge shrub actually, and we just loved how it looked in February, March. So I wanted to have one of those. I pretty much am treating the deck as sort of like a nursery and a learning center for me. I'm buying little versions of perennials or maybe annuals that I haven't had before. And as an example, boxwood, so this is my husband. There are two different ones, and this is gonna be mine. Today it's gonna get its first trim, so we're gonna learn how to properly shape boxwood. And then there's a hibiscus. What a beauty. I found it at Home Depot and I had to have it, and that's pretty much that pretty much goes for every single flower here. I saw it, and as an example, this one, I don't even know, I just got it yesterday, Escalonia, and I guess you can shape it into a topiary, espalier, so that's the reason why I got that. Chucky, no, he likes to go. I have some vegetable scraps in a grow bag over there, and he likes to pull it out. We have 3 hummingbird feeders. I'm not sure if I had it in my last video, and just before I started shooting there was a hummingbird feeding. They come quite often. We used to get so excited, and we still do when they come, but now it's just an everyday, multiple times a day experience, which is just lovely. Our little fountain made it from Edmonton to here, so we have it set up against the barbecue, and the thought was, I was worried that it's going to be too hot being so close to the barbecue for the fern, and these are 2 different rotters on both sides of the fountain, but actually it doesn't bother them. There's no heat emanating from that side, so yeah, all good. And there's some flowers grown from seed, and of course a bunch of little perennials or annuals that I'm growing here. And here's dahlias and delphiniums that I grew from seed. So not delphiniums, what am I saying? Snapdragons. So I actually have a snapdragon here that started blooming, my first ever. So because of how much work we had with everything, I kept a lot of my flowers too long in little pots in the greenhouse, and that goes for flowers and vegetables actually. So some of them, are trying to bounce back. This is the first for me, angel wing begonia. I'm all over the place. I haven't shot a video in a long time, so I don't really have a way or have it planned what I'm gonna say. So I'm just gonna going around and pointing out everything that is in view. Just on that, I'll quickly show what's happening with what we're doing with the walkway. So I'm just finding rocks wherever I can. I go to my favorite beach in Nanaimo, Blueback Beach, and I pick some bigger boulders and do the stairs. And these rocks we actually got for free on Facebook Marketplace, like the crash rock. So we've been getting more and more in that, and we used it in the corner behind the fence, behind the shed. We'll go there soon, just to cover some of the areas that get very muddy. Earlier this year there was a lot of mud here. Grass didn't really want to grow, and dogs continuously had wet feet every time they went in the backyard. So the thought is, and there was some crash rock here, so I'm digging it out slowly and putting it on top of the fabric, and then this is just gonna get filled with just dirt and fill. And I'm gonna plant perennials all along, mostly a lot of hydrangeas and possibly hostas and stuff. So for now it's just a lot of unfinished projects, because I started doing that, and then the boxes got built, so I moved on, switched to the garden, and so it goes. A lot of unfinished stuff. I got a couple of fig trees. We'll go and visit them soon. This is gonna be a future spot for a privacy fence and a hot tub and a jacuzzi. All things to come. Okay, let's move on. Some more hanging plants. I have to give this one water, and a little geranium here. All right, let's go, because I think we're spending too much time in one spot. So this little darling perennial fuchsia, I cannot believe I can grow fuchsia. That's a perennial. It was one of the first plants that I bought here, and these flowers are just so cute. The one mistake, and just me not being very familiar and not thinking properly about this, she should be more raised so we get to enjoy these beautiful blooms more on eye level or just a little bit higher off the ground. So I'm either gonna move her or do some sort of pedestal or anything like that here, but I wanted to have something green in this spot. It's quite shady, especially earlier in the season. It was quite shady, but she actually likes it, and it's an evergreen too. There's some nasturtiums. Chuki's watching to see what's happening. This is a dahlia that I'm growing from seed. There were 3 of them that I planted very early actually in here, as soon as I had a pot. And a lot of these pots, most of them actually, because my pots didn't make it to the island, there was just too much to take. So now whenever I see something on Facebook Marketplace that I like, and a lot of times people just want to get rid of pots, it's quite nice, the community here. They just leave it out on, and that goes for furniture too, but I'm obviously interested in just getting as many pots as I can, because I have so many things to grow, not enough space. So they just leave it on a curb for people to take or whatnot. So I've been able to sort of scavenge some pots like this one as an example, which is great. So I had 3 dahlias here, and actually a couple of days ago I decided, okay, they're getting a little crowded, so I lifted them up, and actually the roots were going all the way to the ground. I was very surprised how deep and big the roots were. So I separated them, and those are the two dahlias that are now here in this spot with snapdragons, and this one I left here, and she's about to bloom. So very excited about that. This is a beautiful rhodo that I bought, and it grew quite big. Still in a pot because I'm gonna plant it somewhere here, but I need all this stuff off and dig a hole. But for now I'm just focusing on making sure all my vegetables and all these flowers and plugs are planted. So the rhodo needs to stay in its pot. I planted beets early in the season, and then I got really excited because they were growing quite nice, but they've bolted, so it's just here. This is a problem child for later to be fixed or emptied. The bag for now is just here. Yeah, this is all chamomile here that's just really struggling in the little pots, but there's nothing I can do. There's so much that I still have to do with this garden. Nothing in a greenhouse anymore. More chamomile and just zinnias just struggling. This is one potato that I couldn't wait, and I wanted to grow something earlier, so I put it in a bag, and this needs that heading. So this one is growing nicely actually. Yeah, just have some spinach here and parsley. The onions are doing well in some of the bags, like these ones. I always kind of struggled back in Edmonton, and here they're like thickening quite nice. I have a couple of zucchini plants already planted here. What else? Oh, I didn't know that I put some chamomile in here too. Interesting. I already did some carrots and dill, and I have peas. I need to start harvesting those. There's just a bush type called Tom Thumb, I think. But I'm growing some more in a garden. We'll go there soon. And potatoes. There's peppers hiding. I'm not sure why. If they're just going through a transplant shock, but they've been here for a while, and the leaves are starting to get smaller and smaller. I don't understand why, what I'm doing wrong here. It grew 2 peppers. I don't know. Perhaps the soil doesn't have enough nutrients. And the same goes for some things in these bags. It's just so interesting. Some things are growing so nice, and some things are struggling for me, like the lettuce this year for me is doing so well here. I've been eating it. That arugula looks so good. But then, like the garlic, it came up quite fast, but then it's not really doing so well. But there's some that's a little bit bigger, so hopefully we'll have some garlic this year, because I had issues with garlic last year back in Edmonton. So yeah, these are all the plants that still need to find a home somewhere in the garden. There are some like annuals that I just didn't know where to put, so I just put it in a plastic pot. Just these are sunflowers, but like these petunias and more snapdragons, and just more arrangement, just so they get a relief from being in those little pots. Yeah, there's still a lot to be done. So my boys like to sit here and wait for the neighbor to come out and give him a treat. So that's what's the deal here. One of the pots I got from Facebook Marketplace came with like a giant thyme, and it smells so nice, and she's so old and woody on the bottom, but I couldn't get rid of her, so I just put it in a different pot, and for now she's here with the 2 figs. So this little fig, it's called LCU Purple, and I got it from like, I think Canadian Tire, just because I got really excited. Literally, I think it was still February, and I had to bring it in and out at night, and then she was in a greenhouse. She did had some frost damage, so I'm not sure, and she recovered since then, but this is still a remnant of frost damaged leaf. I'm not sure if I actually hurt her by having her out so early, and if she's gonna have fruit or not, we're just gonna have to see. This fig is a Dalmati fig, and I got her off Facebook Marketplace from a guy who actually also relocated from Edmonton not too long ago. And he used to grow figs. He's got many different kinds. He's a bit of a fig connoisseur. And he had an all-season greenhouse, and he made these cuttings a couple of years ago because he was planning to move here, and he didn't think that he was gonna bring his figs with him. It turns out that he found a mover that helped him move the actual mature fig trees to the island with him. So now he's just selling these 2-year-old by now cuttings. So I found this one for $20. And it's a Dalmati. It's supposed to be quite tasty, and it already has figs, babies, growing. There's actually one that's like quite big. I'm not sure if that's actually from this year and just like really overgrown, or from last year. I don't know. But yeah, for now, they're just here. A lot of unfinished stuff. This is gonna be the fence for the garden. Just a lot. These eventually will be stairs here and flanked by a couple of palm trees. But we just do what we can with the time that we have. So this is what we did with some other bunch of rock that we got for free. I got these big boulders for free as well from a different person on an island here nearby. But then these rocks we hauled from somebody else's backyard, and they match the crushed rock that we have next to the house. So it just worked out perfectly. It just took a few trips and a lot of lifting, but they wrap around the shed. This was overgrown with brambles, blackberry brambles. But now the dogs can just like run around the shed and not get muddy paws and hurt on brambles and stuff. So it's perfect. Oh, and I guess I should mention my husband also trimmed underside of this tree so that he can get under it. And I used the dried up twigs and cut up branches to line the bottom of my garden beds. And then there's some here just because my neighbors have a dog, and Silo, the criminal, likes to jump all over those laurels that we planted, and to get to the dog, to the fence, so they can bark at each other. Well, Silo does most of the barking. Yes, you, baby. Yes, you're the criminal. But anyway, I digress a little bit here. So, we bought these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I already forgot. Now I don't remember. I think these are Portuguese laurels, and they're the variegated kind. And surprisingly, the one that Silo jumps on the most is doing the best. It's pretty much the same thing as we have here, and the blooms smell so nice to me, and they're blooming right now actually. But yeah, they're doing good. They've taken in and they're starting to grow. So this is just a little temporary seeding situation for my husband. Eventually we'll probably do like a pergola here on this concrete pad, and then this will be my shade garden. But for now, at least he can sit under his tree and just overlook all of this. So this is my English laurel. Well, it's not mine, it's actually my neighbor's. It smells so nice. So the hedge next to the driveway is also English laurel. But because it's trimmed like a hedge on the sides, it didn't really bloom on the sides, but all the blooms were on top. And every time, especially morning, evening, when it cools down, like right now, this one smells so nice. But the one over the driveway, or on the side of the driveway, smells so good in the evenings and in the mornings. So many things to be done. This retention wall, we want to have a creek coming down, curving around, and then there will be somewhere here a pond. Although I don't know how Chucky, he likes to just walk in and sit in a water, so sit in a body of water. So we'll see how that works out. For now, it's just ivy left over from whoever planted it. We have lights in here, mixed in, and some, I think these are yuccas, but they're young. I'm actually not sure, but I think they are. Okay, well, so moving on to the garden. Still needs a fence. We still need to re-level this. I brought the soil and then I put it in, started moving it. Like, I still have a ton of soil behind in the driveway over there, behind the van. Once I dumped it in some of those beds, I started planting, and then within a week I noticed that my tomatoes were, well, within a couple of days I started noticing that the plants are struggling and I couldn't figure it out. And then slowly my tomatoes just started dying. They look like this. And I know I've had them hardened off, so I couldn't understand what is happening. The only thing, the soil was very hot when you dig it in. So I contacted the business where I got the soil from, and pretty much the soil is good. But turns out that I should have watered it thoroughly immediately and let it sit for a day or two, because to stop the process of composting or whatnot. He used a lot of big words and stuff that I'm not familiar with, but there's definitely nothing wrong with the soil. He was actually happy with what it looked like. He is gonna apparently he's gonna replace some of my plants, although I haven't heard from him for a few days. And now I'm starting to see that, like, these plants are actually bouncing back. There's some new growth. However, especially the determinate ones, I'm pretty sure I lost half of my harvest because of the setback. And also, like, see, this is all new growth here. It's coming out nice now. But then also, even the new stuff that's starting to push in on some of them, it is already starting to burn on the edges. So I just can't figure out, like, I keep watering it really good, so it's not hot inside anymore. Is the soil too rich for them? It has a ton of mycelium. It has a ton of compost and sand mixed in. I know it's, now that it's been watered, it smells nice and earthy, and it just seems like it's rich and really good soil. But for whatever reason, I think I just completely damage these tomatoes. And like this one, I don't think it's gonna bounce back anymore. Which one is it? Sun golds are the ones that are the worst. Like, this one is trying to, this is, I think, mortgage lifter, yeah, it's trying to bounce back, but now I'm starting to see already on a new growth on the tips. It's starting to happen. So by yesterday I planted this bud and this bed, and this was done the day before. Now another issue is that my husband doesn't like how these two boxes are settling, so he wants me to dig it all up so he can lift it from the inside. Problem is that I have elevation here. I'm not talking too much about all of this, but I did want to record it even for myself for the future. Anyway, long story short, I have to now dig up these beans and tomatoes, everything from this bed. So I already started here because nothing was here. Actually, okra was here. I already moved it. So I'm gonna move all of that to that bed, and yeah, and then empty all of the soil, so he can do whatever he has to do in here, and we'll see what happens with the beans after I transplant it. I never attempted to do that before. I have a mix of bush beans and Kentucky climbing beans here, pole beans, which I'm very excited about because I never was able to grow that back in Edmonton. I just didn't have the space for it. So the bush beans I actually grew at home, and when I planted them, they are the only ones, and also peas, that did really good in the soil. while everything else was struggling. And then these, and then the Kentucky pole beans, and then these bush were grown from seed in here, and they're doing so good. So I don't know, if the tomatoes fail, at least I'm gonna have like a big and robust bush season, bean season here. Anyway, so that's the story here with the soil and everything. And now I'm starting to see that some little garden pest, robber, whether bird or whatever it is trying to eat my peas. So I have this frost cover that I had on at night. I don't think it helped. So maybe it's not a bird, maybe it's like a mouse, or I really don't know what else comes into gardens here. But I'm gonna get today proper netting and then put it around here, and hopefully that helps. Yeah, so very happy with the peppers though, and hopefully they survive this second transplant, because all of these peppers were here before, and then I got so worried because all the tomatoes were dead that I dug up everything, put it in big pots. It was all over that area, and then as of 2 days ago I started putting everything back, now that I was made aware that the soil is good and just needed more water than I was giving it to them. But anyway, we'll see how things go. But I really hope I don't lose my peppers, because I am very excited about just the level of what looks like just the number of fruit I'm gonna have on all these plants. And I have so many more that I need to plant. Quite a few varieties. This is California Wonder, so it's gonna be like a classic green pepper. This was here a sweet banana pepper. I don't even like peppers, but I like growing them. And I did try one just sauteed with beans and carrots last year, and I was okay with it. So maybe I'm gonna start liking peppers. I don't know. I'm really excited about growing them. See, like, this is doing so good. I hope some of them bounce back. Sweet peas here. Silo, why are you squeaking, baby? Okay, moving along. We've got okra here. Never tried growing okra, so I was very excited about that. And I'm pretty sure I planted Lavaterra by mistake in here, because they kind of look the same. Another thing, so there's some cucumber. On the other side, I planted actually a cantaloupe, and I have 2 watermelon, a sugar baby and Jubilee. We'll see what happens. Both of them are under 90 days. 3 actually, because also the cantaloupe. I picked the ones that are under 90 days to maturity. So we'll see what happens. And I also planted some loofah, and I'm gonna grow some other things that can maybe grow on the fence. I'm getting winded from walking and talking. Yeah, okay, so we're just gonna move on. Oh, and this, let me see if I can do this here. It's an Alaska or polar something. It's a white marigold, and I also had it planted here, and then I dug it up and then I replanted it back yesterday, and hopefully it's gonna survive this time around. And I only have 2. I don't know what happened with the rest. This one here, I grew them from seed, but somehow I only have, I think, these 2, and others are all the yellow ones. Okay, moving on. Hosta just sitting in a pot right now because I didn't know where else to put it, because likely it will go somewhere in here, but for now it just stays in here. We got a blue moon wisteria because we're just in love with some wisteria growing on like around neighborhood, so we needed to have one. So this just went in a couple of days ago. I got this arch on Amazon over the gate because we got this rose, which is called Golden Showers and smells delightful. It's a double rose, and it's a climber, so it's going to climb all over this archie, while the wisteria we're gonna train to go up and then trail and hopefully have lots of flowers just hanging off the rail and maybe here as well. So we'll see how that goes and how fast that reaches. It's supposed to be the one that blooms up to 3 times a year. So hopefully we'll have some blooms this year if she takes in well. I got these 2 pots that are flanking the entrance on Facebook Marketplace too, actually. And so earlier, and I planted some petunias and a couple of cedars just to add a little bit of height and green against the stone. I'm still not totally sold on a stone on the whatever the block is called pattern. I like it. It's different. I've never seen a house here in Canada with this, so I like it for that reason. But at the same time, I just need to soften it with some green around it, because it's just so harsh to me with just all of the stone. Anyway, there's another snapdragon that's trying to burst into a bloom. So very excited about that. I think I'm gonna become a fan of snapdragons. All right, moving on. This is the future home of my greenhouse and a fig and a mulberry. And we'll be entering the future home of a moon garden where all the flowers are purples and lilacs and mostly whites. And we're gonna have some hedges here. The white marker marks the property line, and then there's gonna be a triangle corner pergola in here. Here we just have some, oh, I have a cosmos opening up. Let's go visit her. I didn't know this was happening. So we never use the side door, only once in a while. So I'm just gonna planting whatever is left here, just so there's some flowers and stuff here. And those 4 were planted in that soil, and they were what are they called? Those yellow cosmos. Sunshine mix. Is that what it's called? They didn't do good. And from what I hear, Cosmos doesn't want any fertilizer, and it's okay in poor soil. So maybe the soil was too rich. They dried up and died. While other plants, like the petunias, are okay with it. Okay, another example why I get excited, because I can grow fuchsia, perennial fuchsia, and I planted it here, and so happy, but you don't get to enjoy these blooms when they're so close to the ground. Let me pick some fresh ones. How beautiful is that? How gorgeous is that? So just thinking of the moon garden being here, that's why I went with like a violet and white color fuchsia. She's also an evergreen, but I think I'll find a different spot for it, a little bit higher off the ground, so we get to enjoy it. Now that things are growing here, I always wondered what those 2 bushes were. Turns out they're blueberries. So apparently we're gonna have blueberries here. Yeah, just a mix of anything I can throw, like some zinnias and cosmos here, because this is just a transition for now. While I'm busy with all the other sides of the garden, the parts of the garden, and this is something that's gonna have to be a little bit later down the season project to start, and it's gonna take us a while to get all the plants and turn this or shape it the way I want it shaped. Like I actually wanted it rounded off. I want to have a walking path through here, some sort of centerpiece, maybe a fountain or something in the middle. Lots of hydrangeas, lots of white, lots of purple, lots of lilac. It's all gonna come in time, with time. This year, foxglove, obviously seeded, self-seeded, very beautiful. Never had a foxglove before. It's just completely surrounded by this barberry here that I really want to take out. I'm not a fan of barberries, to be honest. This needs to be cleaned up. But I'm so happy that we're gonna have blooms on these 2 yuccas. I started creating like a border with the rocks, but I've been so busy with the garden. The weeds are just incredibly fast here, so I need to come out and give these to yuccas, a little bit of a break from the weeds. And now the rhodo. I'm so glad that I still caught it in somewhat of a bloom. She is just so beautiful. She's buzzing with bee activity. Most of the blooms are spent now, but at least I have this on video. How beautiful. I was waiting for her to bloom and I got so excited. So gorgeous. Can I find a flower that's not totally spent yet? The color is a little bit cooler and more violet in real life from what I'm seeing on a camera here. It's more like this in real life. But yeah, just gorgeous. And we do have a rose, a climbing rose that's reaching all the way up there. And let me see where I can step. And she smells really good. So I did take a few cuttings and I'm going to see if I can propagate her. But also she's got quite a bit of black spot. So I came in and I chipped. Oh, and I see already here. I have to come in and do some more cutting. I cut off all the branches and leaves that had black spot on them. So she's looking a little bit better. And I also have to come in and deadhead. She didn't have too many blooms. Obviously, she hasn't really been taken care of. And I didn't know what she was, so I kind of left her do her thing. Okay, moving on. So the other day, there were guys cutting a tree for the neighbors, so I made them take out the holly, which I totally hated because these pokey things, literally so hard, so sharp. And if you step on one, it goes through the sole of my slippers and it hurts my feet. I hated it. I want something better that looks nicer and it's not pokey here. So I asked those guys really nicely and they took it out for me for free. 9 bark, not a huge fan of it, especially not here. So we're gonna have to do something about this as well. Perhaps it will go somewhere over there behind against the retaining wall and it's gonna have like hydrangeas in front of it, something. But it's definitely not gonna be here because I find it not like, I like the color of the flowers and I can see it with some green around it. It will look nice, but just against the stone, the leaves being this dark, it just doesn't look lush to me. So I'll figure it out. It will stay. It will just have to get moved. I want more greenery. I want to fix this railing and have more greenery and just more lushness here. And this does not speak lush to me. So finally, I have some blue hydrangeas. Now I bought this little girl, and this quite a while ago. But I planted her here, and this is in shade now, but it pretty much gets full sun throughout the day, and it was baking hot. So I knew I was struggling. So I moved her, and I put some of the irises here, and I moved both of them out here because then they get afternoon shade, and I think that's so much better for them, and I can see the difference. They're not wilting anymore. So hopefully I save the blooms. All 3 are blue hydrangeas, and eventually there's gonna be a bunch of white ones in between too, but I'm gonna break the bank if I do it all. So all these irises and the daisies are free. Somebody posted on Facebook Marketplace, and the same goes for those big irises, and those were alliums, which never bloomed. And I'm probably gonna move them. So I don't know if they're gonna like it and come back next year, but it is what it is. But at least irises, I was very happy to see that they actually bloomed for me. And I think there might be Siberian irises, but I'm not sure. Oh, we got a zinnia opening up. Actually, so how cute. So they've been transplanted here not too long ago, so they're still kind of getting used to it. Oh, well, this is a happy surprise. I bought these, what are they called? Primulas in a spring, and they were just like on my windowsill. and they actually, and then I planted them here. I thought, okay, well, they'll die off until next year, but since I've been watering it because hydrangea was here, they took in and they're thinking it's a whole new season and they're blooming for me. It's good to see. This turns out is a weed. I thought it wasn't. Maybe it's not. Is it? I have no idea. The blue flower, it looks very pretty, but it also gives off a weed vibe. Anyway, so that's what this is, and I threw in a couple of cosmos in there just because, just to add more to this border. I got these bricks for free on Facebook Marketplace too, and I'll either buy some more to finish it off. For now I'm just using rocks. Just wanted to have some sort of border. It just looks so much better with it than without. Yeah, another iris and another daisy in there. Also lamb's ear, also from the same people for free. This little guy I bought, and I forget the name, but it's like a ground cover, and I see it everywhere here on the island, and so hopefully it's gonna grow by next year into a mound of just blue flowers for me, and I'll probably get some more and have it a repeating thing. Okay, I gotta move on. This is 41 minutes. Wow. Okay, lastly, the front. I forget what this is, but I'm pretty sure it was a perennial too. I'll have to look at the tag. I'm saving all the tags just because I'm so unfamiliar with flowers here. This is my dahlia from seed. This is sweet potato vine, cosmos from seed. Some begonias that I thought they can handle heat, but they're not doing so well. So might have to rethink it. Like the ones that are growing in new growth, maybe they're gonna be more adjusted to the level of light. And of course I got a little palm tree because I couldn't help myself. We call her Pamela. She's just a little squirt. But these two new leaves are opening up, so hopefully it looks like she likes it here. And then this is just unbelievable. I got this for free. I couldn't believe it. They just wanted, it was an older couple that just wanted it gone, and they couldn't handle it themselves, and they were just downsizing, and they're just, as long as you can lift it because it was filled with dirt, you can have it. I caught it on Facebook Marketplace. I reached out, they responded. I cannot believe I got this pot for free, and it's perfect here because I have a hole from a post, like a railing post or whatever, in a concrete, so it covers it, and it looks so good. I cannot believe it. How beautiful is that? Oh, and it's not actual concrete. It looks like it, but it's, I don't know, resin, whatever it is. Oh, beautiful. Okay, and then a couple more pots here with some petunias, and I forget, what is this? Verbena? Is that what it's called? This one needs to be deadheaded. And some cedar babies for a pop of green, and also dahlia in each one as well. This one's about to bloom, and another little pot of stuff. Okay, and that's it. So let's go back. Let's do the usual, what I used to do in Edmonton. Come back into the garden. I really need to get better with the camera. I apologize, but I always wanted to have a garden by the sea. I have a bigger garden, and I have my sea views, and I'm very happy. Hi baby, you came to see me? Where's your brother? Oh, my baby. Oh, is that a new toy you have? You're gonna get 2 toys? Oh, thank you, baby. Bye, everyone.